see trouble. How may I help?
Lavaru beyond sick.
Here we go. Hey,
What can I do you
that
for?
wasn't half bad.
Nothing I can do.
Kinda stuck over here.
For the homeland! How many of you are there?
Tell me.
Happy to oblige. All thick, worth and raw.
Stay behind me.
You were saying? Ha! Can't get a clean hit. Say your prayers.
Oh?
Yeah.
That's not very
Happy to
helpful.
oblige. Blessings be upon you.
What do you need?
Your orders? Ha! Right between the eyes. On your feet, now!
I'm here. At once. Very well.
Could use something to put a little pep in my step.
Yeah.
Something I can do?
Means you've got the decency to die?
Happily.
I taste his fear. Open, open.
Yes?
These uns are. I cannot whack him any harder.
Yeah?
Happy to oblige. Your orders?
Yes, that hit true. I'm here. Yeah! Ugh, I'm no help here.
Your orders?
Yes?
I shall deal with this one.
Hey.
That's right.
You were saying?
Tell me. They'll fall. This is futile.
Hmm?
Happily.
Finally, some peace and quiet. Just keep that bird away from my work.
Stand down, Ishi. The man is doing important work.
Slave sphincter, those snakes were noisy. I don't suppose you brought any extra parchment with you? Of course. What else? Slowly, Aimuro. Can't expect them to know if you don't tell them.
Fie, suppose he's got a better half tucked in there too?
I'm writing it all down. My research, my work, something to survive before the next walk-in Colossus, the next Naga warband. Do you need something? If not, I should focus. So much to do. What didn't? A Colossus made of Adra marched through the fort, grew bright like luminous, and scores of soldiers fell dead. Incredible.
If Aethys got to them first, then you can fit their remains in a pouch of white leaf.
Then the Naga killed everyone else. Except Latharn, I suppose. Yes, he must have left. They should split up. Safer that way. Better odds. Dawnstar fellow. Arrived yesterday, last week. Complained of strange dreams. Smart of him to leave so soon.
He's gotta be acting on his dreams, trying to help our god.
Do you need something? If not, I should focus. So much to do. Safety in numbers, eh? A comforting illusion. Let the others have it if they wish it. I must see that my work survives. How indeed? Naga everywhere. Suppose your best chance will be up along the walls, west and south. But how to get there? Better perhaps to keep going south, around the edge of the fort, through Fleet Master Ko's office. More cover from the Naga. Only one. Just a prototype. In there.
Captain, I don't ask for much. I need to see this thing go off.
It is most impressive. You're welcome to it. I only ask that you compile notes on the blast radius, detonation temperature, smoke formation, debris trajectory.
I'd be glad to. At once. Indeed.
Oh?
Yeah!
Something I can do?
Pariathus!
Happy to oblige.
I'm listening. Might as well be hitting the water.
I'm here. As you wish.
Arthur Worthen. Ross. Arthur Worthen Ross.
I've got this, Captain.
Oh?
This is futile!
Something I can do?
Glory be
I thought we were friends.
What can I do you for? I'll light the darkness.
I'm listening. Ha! Right between the eyes.
Lavaru beyond sick. Not to alarm you, but I'm slowly dying of poison. We're losing folks!
What can I do? Ah, no use.
Aye? I cannot whack him any harder! Careful!
Smart, don't it? Yeah. Time to separate the chaff.
Your orders?
Not to alarm you, but I'm slowly dying of poison. Hmm?
Happy to oblige. Let's reap this whirlwind.
I'm listening.
Ha!
Tell me.
Feels like wading through mud up to my armpits.
I'll not get us both!
What can I do?
Oh, I missed the right. I went straight to the sick. Let's high it out! Hey.
What can I do? Stand together. Nothing I can do.
Let's reap this whirlwind. Arthek Worthen
Speak freely.
What can I do? Yeah!
Hey. Leave it to me. Tell me. There's a walloping!
You were saying? Can't get a clean hit.
Of course.
Yes?
Something I can do?
I'm listening. I've got this, Captain.
Yes? Ah!
Yeah?
Anything.
Yes? Very well.
Something I can do?
I'm listening. Right between the eyes.
What can I do you for?
Tell me.
Yes? Yes.
Yeah?
You were saying?
Happy to oblige.
Something I can do?
Very well.
I'm listening.
Happy to oblige.
Yes? Yeah. That's for my friends.
Speak freely.
Happy to oblige.
What do you need?
Indeed.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Of course.
Ah, remember this little soldier? Glad to see you made it, friend.
Happily.
The sea-striped fiends send you to uproot the tree of the gods, yes? Their blasphemy knows no bounds.
Give the order, Captain. Or just nod. I'm not picky.
So, the fiends corrupt even the sand-striped ones. Now I taste their stench on her. If you join them in befouling the Adra, then you will join them in death, too. The tree of the gods, yes, which these fiends plunder and profane. Go! Carry a warning of what you have seen to the other shufflers. That shufflers must not disturb these roots, or the gods will destroy the islands again. Do your stories say nothing of the many disasters? Of the shuffler nests washed away like foam? Many generations ago, the sand-striped ones built great hives across the islands, and bastions around the Adra roots. Their ancestors, yes. Their meddling displeased the gods. So the gods smashed their works with heaving volcanoes and crashing waves. You shufflers are beasts of habit. You do not learn. You do not change. You cast off your sheddings by night, only to put them back on at daybreak. You wrap yourself in filthy, worn-out things. Our ancestors hid deep where the waters quenched the fires and muffled the storms. They remembered while shufflers scattered. Now, the shufflers build again. The gods see. They will tear them all down. If your fat tongue speaks true, then give us proof. If this is not some fat-tongued lie, then show us. Approach. Restore the blessing of the gods to the Adra. Heal the Adra Shuffler, if you can.
As your hand touches the dim Adra, you feel the same cool, pricking sensation that you did when you touched the pillar near Port Mage. You concentrate on the pillar. The world around you swiftly falls away, leaving only the vast emptiness of the in-between. The Adra, and a multitude of golden threads undulating off into the distance. For a second time, You gather the threads in your mind and bind them together, forming a solid tether that ripples out toward its distant anchor. Again, a crack sounds from the terminus. Your consciousness is violently pulled along the cord. You are prepared for the sensation this time, but are still disoriented when you come to a sudden stop. You find yourself standing behind a familiar Titanic statue as it trudges through invisible waters. Standing at Aethys' shoulder, your soul is dwarfed by the massive god's form. Energy pulses along the tether, each wave feeding the Audra's movements. He stops. His head cranes behind him, again accompanied by the sound of stone shearing and buckling. His eyes rest upon you. He does not reach for the cord, but considers you for a long span of silence before speaking.
Your first attempt to contact me was brave. This second attempt, is it born out of desperation or something else? Why do you continue to follow me, Watcher of Cadnua? Many Kith would like to know the god's designs. Why is it so important to you?
At first, he does not respond, but there is a wavering from the light within him. A momentary dimming that allows you to see the souls within the Audra clearly.
I never sought violence or death, but Margren and the Hand Occult have ensured that the world believes the madman Widewind tried to destroy the Deerwood and everyone in it. In truth, a war was what I desired, but not one of violence. I sought a war of conscience. If people saw that the ruins so faithfully guarded by the Glanfathans were nothing more than machines the Angwithans had used to turn themselves into gods, what could that mean?
Aethys becomes silent. You can sense his presence advancing back along the cord between you. His energy flows over your hand, tendrils of light probing into the air around you. They poke and prod at the silent lost souls hovering in your vicinity.
You are in a unique position. In spite of the work of the Leaden Key and Hand Occult, you have seen through our facade. You know the god's true nature. Without the benefit of your knowledge, few mortals would be willing to accept the true history of their gods. After all, we weren't. The last time I walked Aora, I made a mistake in not revealing my true purpose. I believe you would understand it better than most. Yes, I will tell you, but this is not the time. As I take this body farther from the lighthouse, the tether grows weaker, and I have already tarried too long. Soon this link will unravel completely. If I have not reached my destination when that happens, I will need to pull more souls from your world. It is. When you contacted me from Port Mage, I had to sever my tether to the luminous Audra. Without it, I lacked the strength to reach Hasongo. I pulled souls from the creatures of the ocean and from the people at Hasongo until I could reach the lighthouse. The soldiers and Naga there were no threat to me. I did not kill them out of malice, but simply to keep this body moving. It may be hard to believe, Watcher, but I have pity for every soul I've come across on this journey. Even yours.
The edges of Aethys' massive form blur and dissolve. The huge figure retreats from you. As it moves, the tether begins to rapidly unravel. As Aethys speaks, his voice sounds garbled, fragmented, and distant.
If you would know more, find me at the Ashen Maw in Margaren's teeth. I must rest there before I begin my final work. When I leave that place, you will not be able to follow. Before I go, I should return some of this to you. I still have need of the great power of your soul, but I can spare you this portion.
A pulse of energy moves back along the golden cord toward you. It feels familiar, comforting, even before it contacts you. The energy washes over you, flooding you with feelings and memories you had thought long forgotten, until they settle back into the cracks of your soul. And then the tether and cord snap, Aethys's figure evaporating into dust that mingles with the endless gray expanse. Heat rushes over you, and the uncomfortable sensation of the Audra Pillar's presence cuts off. The gloom of the in-between is pierced by the light of the living world. You are back in the lighthouse, no longer dim. The luminous Audra beside you is filled with warmth and light.
Long have we kept peace with the sand-striped people. But then, the foreign ones came and spread, killed our people, built their hives everywhere.
Your type weren't exactly accommodating.
We were sure the Godwalker came to cast them out, that driving them away was a holy mission. We must go. I know not what this means, but our brethren should hear of it.
Not an option, Snake. Bet you were keeping count of how many good soldiers you fanged. Captain?
You show us something new today, Shuffler. Thank you for this. And for your mercy.
Oh, you wanted something, Captain? What, me? Been trying to say that it's a pity you're already accounted for, Captain. You're halfway towards being a decent catch. Forget I said anything, it's not important.
I've got some answers.
I'd known there were that many in the water.
Yes?
Happy to oblige.
Hmm?
You were gabbing with my god again, weren't you?
When the captain goes all starry-eyed like that, the crew starts to ask questions.
I was rather hoping someone else would bring that up.
If you got something to tell us...
If his goal is to bathe his nethers in molten rock, I'm in no hurry to stop him.
What about you, though? I'm getting flashes of those episodes you used to have in Deerwood. You know, when you were going crazy.
Oh, good thing we're in the Deadfire, where the volcanoes definitely aren't going to awaken at any time.
Do you need something? If not, I should focus. So much to do.
Scale-bellied cowards! I knew they'd run! Look at our beacon. Even the Colossus couldn't destroy it. And those snakes aren't so tough now, are they? The lighthouse shines again. We survived. It's proof that our people can conquer anything. that our works can survive even here. The Hansanui will want to thank you personally for your help here, and she should also know what we're up against. Looking for a real challenge after what you did to those scale bellies? The only thing I know about the place is it's supposedly made of fire, and no one's ever come back from it. But anything can be overcome. She's usually at the Brass Citadel in Nekataka, though she gets called to the palace often, haggling with the Queen and the Valians. Clear skies.
Light of Aethys be upon you, neighbor. Are you looking for survivors?
Short lady, about my age, came from Deerwood with her son. Let's see, freckles, braids usually. Punches you in the arm if she likes you, face if not. Oh, and that's if you're lucky.
No, that doesn't sound like anyone.
You gotta be her son. Got her nose and her freckles. You don't have to lie to me, kid. I'm a friend of your mother's. She hiding from someone? Maybe an ex-lover who gave her the best night of her life?
No, I misspoke.
Forget it. Just tell me something. Your father, you know him?
I'm sorry, who are you? Right, Friends of Alavas. Yes, I knew my father when I was very young. He was a man of strong faith.
Have to be. You get a lava mad, you need a god on your side for protection.
He was lost to us during the purges, which was how we came to flee here.
So you met him? Well, that's great. You had a dad. Where's your mother now? Got a lot of catching up to do.
My mother is with Aethys. She passed the veil a few years ago. A flu. It's possible her soul has taken a new body by now, but if she was truly blessed, she marches instead beside the Shining God.
You lied to us. Said you didn't know her. Expect me to believe this now? Funny, you wouldn't know it to look at him.
I'm not lying. She's buried on the other side of that hill.
How could she be gone?
Don't be troubled by her passing. All souls that march with Aethys receive his warmth and light. You can't build on broken foundations. Real change needs destruction. I trust my God knows better than I do. He knows truths I'll never learn.
You got that right.
I was once lost. I struggled as you do now. But the partisans of the lighted path have restored my faith in Aethys. What greater honor than to march in his vanguard? Aethys has come to us twice now. Even Oblivion couldn't slow his march. We shouldn't have opposed his first coming. He meant to rally us under his banner.
Oh, I know a lot of dead deer woodens who will be relieved to hear that. You got the giant footprint on your back to prove it.
Aethys forced everyone to declare themselves as ally or enemy, nothing more. Now he marches again, and we have a chance to correct our mistake.
Well, that's charitable.
I would like to have joined him when he passed this way, but I was weak. It won't happen again. We began as children of the Dawnstars, separated from each other as we questioned our purpose. But then Aethys granted a vision to Gadarian Bosch. Bosch saw an illuminated path lighten the way through a black abyss. And he saw Aethys marching on the path, and Aethys bade him to march alongside.
Not quite how I've been seeing it, but everyone's open to their own interpretations.
And the Shining God told Gadarian Bosch to gather an army of the god's truest followers, and to prepare to lead it into battle.
You'd think after getting blown up, he'd slow down on the battling.
We don't know. The end of the path hasn't been revealed to Gadarian Bosch yet, but to the faithful, shouldn't matter. There'll be a great journey, but we're prepared. Gadarian Bosch knows the way. Aethys himself has appeared in Deadfire in the form Gadarian Bosch foretold. That's more proof than any of his faithful could ever ask. What fortune to be given this opportunity, to know our God in the living world. Gadarian Bosch warned us. Those outside the partisans may ridicule us and test our faith, especially our old families and others close to them. We've learned it's best to keep to ourselves and those with open minds, which relations and friends mostly aren't.
We can go. Hey, kid. What was your name again?
Bairn.
Right. This lighted path fellow, Bosch. Sounds interesting. There's some way I can meet him?
He's usually on the move, rallying followers. But the partisans of the lighted path often gather in the temple of Aethys in Neketaka. I seem to go there myself, in fact. There's an adherent there, Ogna, who initiates new partisans. No doubt she'd be pleased to help you. Aethys needs able soldiers, even in their elder years. You should consider what Ogna has to say. It might speak to you. Farewell. Hello again, and blessings of Aethys to you, as you wish. Farewell. Hello again, as you wish. We began as, but then and he saw in the shine.
You'd think after getting blown.
We don't know, but to the faithful, there'll be a Gadarian Bosch. Aethys him what fortune to be given.
We can go.
Farewell.
Yes?
What's gnawing you? Wasn't what I expected, I know that much. I had this idea that maybe I'd get along with him. Either 'cause he was like his mom, or 'cause he was like, But it was like somebody talked him out of his personality. And when he looked at you, you got the feeling he was looking at someone a long ways behind you. It's not his fault. He's alone out here. And his mom was such a force. If she was so sure of herself, she'd have had that co-leader following her. Hard to replace something like that.
You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk. Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the Pallid Knight shakes the earth at your feet. You have returned to Bareth's realm, your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the God of Death. You can't be certain, but you think you might see the barest hint of a smile tugging at the edges of the Pallid Knight's lips.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned.
You feel a ghostly hand at your throat.
You will speak, or I will compel you to speak.
She does not squeeze, but only rests her hand there. A threat as gentle as a lover's caress.
My patience is not infinite, and your soul is but one breath in a hurricane that I control.
She closes the gap between you in a blink. This near, you realize the God of Death has a smell. Like dust and ozone, petrichor and cold, cold steel.
Every time you defy me, I grow further inclined to disassemble your soul and scatter your essence to the farthest corners of the beyond once the task I have assigned you is complete. So have a care, Watcher. Intriguing.
The Pallid Knight stares past you, pensive.
While attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you. In the space beside Bareth, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga. Each of them eyeless. They are Wal.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages, and we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Ah, Watcher, you do so fear loss. I once asked you to bury my scroll beneath Black Meadow, and you betrayed me to Grimda. Do you remember? Some things must be lost to be found again. But you have never believed that, have you? Let me remind you. We have read the book of your life, Watcher. It is heavy with the weight of your choices, and its pages are not unmarred by the blood of others. You reap, but on a smaller scale. We see between the strings of the world, and Aothis is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Bareth's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra, roll to meet yours.
My gift-bearers bring to me that which Kith most want to forget. And in their memories I see you as Wal does. You are the one who leaves chaos in her wake. You knew one of them once, my gift-bearers. Maneha. She longs to forget and to help others do the same. But when given the chance to aid her, you did not. You are a capricious creature, like Aethys.
Andra's storm-black eyes roll away from you.
Aethys is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves and the rush of wind through treetops.
If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Aethys does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Bareth's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks, and form the vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man made half of metal and half of ruined skin stands before you. The rounded metal of a well-worn shield makes up most of his skull, his right eye socket, and jaw. His mouth is pulled forever into a half grimace.
If Aethys has something foolish planned, perhaps we can turn him from that path and set him down a more productive one.
Abaddon's words crash and screech together, like long steel gears forced to movement for the first time in centuries.
Abaddon speaks with a child's naivety. He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him, if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Eora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him. But I will bear down upon Aethys with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the pallid night stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Aethys care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts. Aethys seeks a slate wiped clean. Freedom from the endless revolutions of Barath's wheel. The final emancipation of the countless stolen mortal lives the gods hoard within themselves.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Magrin tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Bareth's realm, and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
It was on a cold and stormy night. The snow was on the ground. A sailor boy stood on the quay. His ship was outward bound. His sweetheart standing by his side had many a silent tear.
You blink and find your then
Watcher.
You have returned to Bareth's realm. You can't be
Once again, tell me what you have learned.
You feel
you will.
She does not squeeze, but only rests her hand there. A threat.
You may be the Watcher of Cadnua, the Hound of Aethys, the Herald of Bareth, but you are still a mortal woman. Every time you defy me, I grow so have a care, Watcher. Intriguing. While it
in the space they are.
Here we are.
A fig they.
This is the what some things must be lost to be found again. But you have never. We have read the book of your. We see between what two people.
A man stride Galawain fast up from out of the.
My gift bet. You knew what. You are a capricious.
Aethys is nothing.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain.
If his
Aethys, the doors warped. Finally, a man, the rounded.
If Aethys.
Abaddon speaks with a child. I will send
the water at your Magrin.
The age I doubt but I will bear down upon Aethys with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
The deep wells met only the.
Should Aethys care to hasten the inevitable. Aethys, freedom, the find.
The child.
He sows so much.
The crack of.
We can wait. Speak with him, Watcher.
Water begins. You scrabble at the. You splash. The gods are. Happily.
My lady, what do you require? If Aethys has gone to Margaren's teeth, then I fear that is where we must also go, my lady. I advise proceeding with caution. Local law paints Margaren's teeth as a most treacherous place.
Well, hey, tell me what's on your mind. Sure thing, Watcher.
Watcher, you only have to ask.
What is it, Casita?
Greetings again, Captain. Do you require my expertise?
Lash esegan kikiwa. Ask, please. Should it be a challenge? Lipasalis, my home. It is a big city, ta? Many people speak many languages. That is Nujin. Normal. There was a storm. Clouds black like night and high as the stars. We thought God would protect us. West. No one has ever been west because of the storms, huh? But we were determined. We came to teach. Teach about God. I do not know what missionary is, but okay. I did not say I am a good teacher. You learn Seki, maybe we talk more about God. Teach about God. No, only God, ta? How to explain? I did not say I am a good teacher. You learn... Do I not? I jest. You are right, I am not a teacher. There was a... Sehaj. And then I was put on the ship. We can discuss... later. I am a fast learner. Do you think my Adiran is very bad? It cannot be as bad as Seraphin's. He opens his mouth and nonsense comes out. I did nothing. That is how I was put on that ship. Maybe a building went on fire. Maybe many buildings. But that is the past. The future is more interesting, huh? As you say. The edge of your map. A joke from Maya. Home. Home is Yezua. Beyond the storm. Somewhere. A funny question. How to explain? I miss the wind. Hot and dry, it comes from the mountains. Shakes the doors. Covers Lipasalis in dust. And the desert. It is beyond the mountains. Red and wide. I still smell it sometimes. Is that possible? Oh, I will go now. Someday, Chizunskiku. But there is still much to see here, I think. Are you far from your home, Watcher? So, you are always at home. I wish I shared your feeling. As you say. I do not. But it is better with you. Ketahun gisama. Who? Who? He puts fire kelp in my soup when he thinks I am not looking. But there are peppers much spicier in Yezua. I will get him back. I offered her a candied nut and she took them all. She is like my sister. Ugh. Creepy. Fine, yes. Always he has a sour lemon face. Like an old man. Adair told me God stepped on your house? Your luck is maybe worse than mine. Her bird is mean. You see where he bit me? I like him. She reminds me of my old teacher. Do you think she would spar with me? but maybe I have enough scars. Where did he learn Adirin? Not here, huh? Tekehu showed me rice wine. Ugh, it is terrible. You are out of rice wine, by the way. She poked me with her weapon once. She apologized for a week. I poked her with mine, and now we are even. Can I ask you a question? We talk about the others. What do you think of me? Yukog? Take me home and I will show you fun. Liezuha Igechi.
Hey, look who it is.
Great and terrible things are at work. And once again, you seem to be in the middle of it. The Rawatayans we passed will doubtless spread word of what you've done in Hasongo.
But others will want to know what you've seen. They'll look to you for answers.
As am I. It reminds me of the question that drew me to the Deadfire. The one I've been avoiding. I promised to tell you what I was doing among the Animancers at Port Marge. As you may have guessed, I was observing them, gathering information on the various Animancy operations in the region. Yes, and how better to draw them out? Animancy is a subject of particular interest to the Leaden Key. Through it, I hope to pick up the trail. That's where it gets complicated. After that incident in Old Valia, I thought more about the Leaden Key and its particular composition. It's existed for over 2,000 years. Say what you will about its motives and methods, but that's an impressive tenure. That's when I realized how short-sighted I'd been. To think I could undo the Leaden Key without understanding how it works. By studying its origins, of course. Fate and his spur the lad. I found references to an ancient Leaden Key cabal in the Deadfire. Possibly one of the oldest, if accounts are credible. And they appear to have been working independently, without direct intervention from Theos, for almost 2 millennia. And how to destroy it, yes. Most sources refer to them as the Painted Masks. But I haven't met anyone here who knows that name. I don't know where in the Deadfire they are exactly, but I was hoping we could look for them together. I believe you. Anyway, there's daylight yet. I suppose that's enough from me. I know that look.
Damn me, the cops run dry. I thought Aethys was too busy kicking over islands to blunt his teeth with mortals. What say? You must take something from all this idle chatter with the gods. And you knew things he did not. Ah. For what does he listen to you, then? The gods I know are tight of lip and hard of hearing. He has inhabited a giant body and drained the souls of thousands. Can he be anything but committed? I could not imagine the inner workings of a god. But then, I am not meant to. It is for mortals to flail in the darkness, I say, while gods point us toward light. To be worshipped, to have others interpret your design. Such a burden, and mortals demand it so. For what should a god worry about such cares, when theirs is the hand on the tiller? Kara, I did not wish to burden you. These days I am having to think harder than my pampered years. You will forgive the handsome fish if he is as curious as the green god. At least Aethys has you to keep him in check. What happens when we catch up to him is something for future Tekehu to worry about.
Scratch under the wet clay of any artist and you hatch a lifetime of fear and doubt. My boy doesn't fear the gods. He only fears what he'll compromise by living up to his potential. But isn't it easier to let sculptures represent you? Poor thing. Nothing he does could disappoint me. But that is a mother's prerogative.
You have questions? Kara. Kara.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for? I espy a lurking question, Cap. I were born into slavery, Cap. I never knew no father save Romaro and don't much remember my mother. I do remember the day they tore me from her arms. Her screams. Kind of thing that leaves a mark. It'd have been one thing if I was purchased for labor. To lift or farm or fix or what do you have. But they bought me to fight. Threw me in a fucking pit. Set me against other slaves. Ain't your sin to carry, Cap. They transported me twixt one pit and the next by ship. And they would set me swabbing decks. One eve, the sorcerer fell upon them sneaking up in the sunset. When blades were drawn, I availed myself of one. Found myself a little justice. Romaro brought me aboard the sorcerer. The rest of the story's old.
Captain, a word? What, did Ishi defecate in your favorite helmet or something? You've spoken to Aethys, which means you know what we're up against. If the fleet sailed up to him and fired every cannon at once, I imagine we'd have a fighting chance at taking a chip off his kneecap. There's no stopping him, is there? Get used to it. That's how things get done in this part of the world. I suppose there's a certain appeal to recognizing the inevitable. We don't have to waste our breath trying to stop it. It reminds me of the first time I shot to kill. Captain, that's the best part. There he stood, a pirate captain barking orders from the forecastle. Out of everyone's range but mine. The wind toyed with us. I took aim, never thinking I'd make the shot, but then I felt this awareness, like someone out there was aiming me. A cannon blast took me by surprise. I squeezed off a shot, expecting it to fly wide, but the bullet took my target between his eyes. I don't know if Bareth kicked open a door or the Sky Mother held my hand, but that man was meant to die. I've got that same feeling now. Better or worse, I know that Aethys is meant to succeed. Choice is a funny word. I never planned to live by the gun. One day I put a bullet through a Bronzoa while the Ranganui happened to be watching, and the rest was history. I can still take pride in my work, if that's what you're asking. Hope I didn't take the wind out of your sail. Whether or not we can change anything, at least we can say we were there. That's more than most people get.
I've got some answers. Speak your mind, Captain.